Every time I speak, the dog barks. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.
Oh, God, I didn't know what you were going to say.
Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Tom Bloom.
I'm Galen.
And this is your very first 15 minutes of FUME of 2022. There's a dog outside barking very joyously, very excited to greet the new year.
Put a muzzle on it, pup. I don't know. Just like, shut up, we're trying to film.
Someone needs to inform that dog that this is a film production city and, you know, sometimes you gotta keep it down. How is your new year going?
Oh, I mean, it has been 4 days of a new me. I feel
COVID negative?
Negative and, you know, just like negative in life.
Yeah.
Grumpy.
A positive negativity.
Positive negativity. I've got a negative outlook on life, and I really like it.
As you may have heard from the internet, we at the lab have had a COVID breach of our little fortress, and we have had to just like, it's been a mad scramble. Everyone is fine and recovering and, you know, getting their legs back under them and getting their negative tests, and we're getting our routine back, but it has slowed everything down right at the moment when we were dealing with a crazy amount of holiday orders. So please, yeah. I don't want to say the dreaded words, bear with us, because I feel like that's what you hear on every like recorded message when you're actually calling someone that you need real help from. But you know, we figured we would at least get right back into the swing of things here in our own little pocket universe.
Oh, now a beep.
Oh, why?
Now a beep?
Why?
Come on, I want like a
Christina!
I want a quiet Tuesday.
We are easing back into the flow of things with the Gingerbread Cotillion collection. It's relatively simple. You've got a gingerbread smell, you've got some other smell. Maybe other smells plural. So that should be pleasant for us, and it should, you know, be relatively easy for you to digest, as it were. So, like, shall we just dive in?
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm starting with gingerbread and leather. It's so funny. Not technically part of Gingerbread Cotillion, but it's on the printed label, so I guess someone somewhere decided it was. But this is a returning scent from last year, which is a gingerbread, clove, tobacco, and leather. Look, we have our little test strips. Should I use one?
I just want to go into the bottle.
Pew! You want to dive into this bottle?
I do. I love this smell so much.
It's weirdly, I thought it would be different when I kind of sniffed the mother bottle at the lab, which are just words that I say sometimes. But I thought it smelled a little different, and then now getting it home, it smells exactly like the one last year.
It does.
Just like really warm, spicy, rich, dark, mysterious. It's just like it's just a gorgeously sexy perfume. I really like that in the dry down I get like a little of the clove action, and it kind of goes interestingly, like you get a little of that like kind of metallic blood smell. It's a gingerbread cookie with an element of danger.
A leather jacket on, they're bad, you know.
Yeah, bad. Just bad to the proverbial bone. No bones.
They're just misunderstood. They're not bad.
Listen to yourself.
I want to get married, but we're so young.
Oh my gosh. That is a Ronettes reference. Because we're always laughing at that song where she's just singing over and over.
She's just like, I'm so young.
So, just
like,
too young to get married.
Fully ready for marriage up here, but like...
Unfortunately, society frowns on it because we are so young. I just think it's so funny because now that I'm in my Annette Bening later years, hearing somebody just sing tragically about how young they are is just hilarious.
Like, what are you, Olivia Rodrigo?
You'll trust me, you'll get over it. You won't be that young forever. So, I love Olivia Rodrigo.
I do too. It's not a knock, but like that song is just like all about how she's like, oh, it's so hard to be a teenager, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm 33.
It's brutal out here too. Oh, do you want to smell? Oh.
This is, I mean, it is admittedly one of my favorite perfumes that we have made since last year.
Maybe ever. It's just
and
like...
I have visited a lot in this last year.
Toasty and gloomy and spicy and all the other forbidden dwarves.
Just fun.
So
It's a lot of fun.
let us pivot into something, oh my god, totally ridiculous. I'm just drawing these at random, and we come with the deep fried gingerbread.
Uh-oh.
Admittedly, this scared me in concept, and when I first smelled, again, Mother Bottle when they were processing, I was a little worried because the only deep fried scent that I have context for is the Very Stable Genius perfume we did to protest the,
that guy.
T-Dog years, and that was a horrible deep fried nightmare. Surely there must be no overlap with this scent, right? And it's funny because there is like a decided, a fried quality that like comes right sizzling right off the bottle.
It is strong.
Okay, but
I did smell this one before, and I had the same reaction of like, oh!
It's
like I can smell the gingerbread, but the deep fried thing was just like immediate, and I was like, French fry that.
But however, you let it in, you look into the void looks into you.
It almost smells like donuts.
Yes, because this is a deep fried carnival fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really up there with the funnel cake scents that we've done, like the Please Screamin' to Your etc. And then the gingerbread makes it spicy, and there's like something like really, it's taken me back to like 4-H competitions, like real state fair vibes.
Just like elephant ears, which I can't eat.
Yes.
I got sick once, but
The spice of this, there's like a cinnamon in the ginger, and it just kind of like really rescues this from being like something really frightening. Because then on the skin, I think the fried part of it kind of like retreats. It just had something to say, urgently right off the bat. And then what I'm left with is like this the elephant ear smell.
It does smell like elephant ears a lot.
What is it like? Or at the Ren Fair, it was like the Queen Anne's lace or whatever, which was just like funnel cakes, and it was like in a lacy pattern with powdered sugar. Clever. So weirdly,
Aww.
this is just like I like a gourmand smell where the defining note is not necessarily the actual thing being cooked, but the method of cooking. That's like a level of perfume witchcraft that I find really fascinating, and that Bepel just like. This is just like a trick that Beth has and pulls out all the time. It's like, here we go. Otherwise, it's just like relatively gingerbready, and there's just kind of this extra crispy, like rich, oily,
Don't eat too much.
Oh no, don't eat any of it.
Don't eat the perfume.
Do not eat the perfume.
Like in your fantasy, don't eat too much.
Let's go. Okay, totally different direction. A swerve. Down. It's like the road diverge in yellow wood, and you end up with gingerbread, Spanish moss, and swamp cedar.
The wild things of the gingerbread cotillion.
Yes, it's like the opposite of a state fair. It's like you're the creature lurking in the swamp, who ends up like hunting people who go to the fair. Oh wow.
Her name is Denise Richards.
This is
this is like very like I'm hiding behind a tree, mysterious kind of thing.
Yes.
I'm not really smelling gingerbread, but is it because I'm already burnt out?
Maybe we're gonna have some weird overlap because of smelling the same note over and over. You're gonna smell the difference a lot more.
But I like this.
However, I am tracking the
cedar.
note, but
Yeah.
like in the bottle, of course, the swampiness and cedariness of it, the Spanish mossiness. There's almost like a kind of a cologne-y quality because these are just kind of like fresh, earthy, woodsy scents, and it's like Swamp Thing. It's like as if Swamp Thing comes down your chimney and eats the cookies left for Santa. That's my pitch, I guess.
Wow.
And you wake up in the morning and you've got these gigantic wet footprints,
I didn't know Santa had webbed feet. And also didn't wear shoes.
Right. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is the least gingerbready of the ones that we have to smell. Because it's like this it's got a rich damp, but like a kind of a warm damp.
The humidity.
Yeah, it's got a real it's like the bog mummy gingerbread person.
Wow.
Preserved in peat for 700 years.
Whoa, bog mummy. Oh, this
Bam
is
blam.
really nice. And the gingerbread is like it is just kind of in the background.
There's just
it
like
is
a
that
poof
spicy
of spice.
base.
Right. And
but-
it kind of gives it a nice kind of like warm human component, like, you know, like the witch's cottage in the distance, you know,
Yeah.
but like you're definitely standing like calf deep in some like bracken
Yeah.
sludge.
It's like watery, woodsy, murky. But maybe there's cookies.
Yes.
Maybe it's a cookie house, and you start eating bits of it.
I really am surprised at how well this works. I just kind of assumed from the label that it would be like this.
It would be really weird. I smelled it last night, and I was like, I don't smell gingerbread at all. I liked what I smelled, but I am picking it apart in a new way today.
If you're like a certain person and you're like the spirit of this collection, or you just want a hint of the GB, definitely go this way. And it's like you're like technically participating in seasonal merriment, but like no one's really gonna track it, so it's like, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
This is like for the Grinches out there. This is it. This is the one.
The
Next,
Grinches, the Grouches.
we're gonna go back into relatively familiar territory with gingerbread sticky buns. Who doesn't
Now with
love
more stick.
a sticky bun? Yeah. So this is gonna probably swoosh us back.
This is stuck.
Whoa! Right back into Foodie Town. This is
Incredibly sticky.
It's really reminding me of being at the, like, I'm having weird, strange nostalgia for actually going to coffee shops to write in the morning. And I was pretty good at resisting all of the crazy sticky treats, because if you go often, you just end up having crazy sticky treats constantly. But this is like, oh. So I'm going to say amped, definitely amped on the cinnamon, for sure.
Yes.
A very cinnamony, gingery bread. I am getting some kind of weird, like, sticky frosting note.
Yes.
Just-
like, how does it smell this gooey?
It's
I
just got a
don't-
real goop to it, like a cinnamon goop. Is there a name for it? I think it's
I
just
think
called
you just
cinnamon
said
goop.
what you- yeah, cinnamon goop.
On the skin, the cinnamon is like extremely cinnamony, like almost to a incense place. I
I
don't
think
know.
you say insensitive. Almost like to an insensitive
Well,
degree. Excuse me, cinnamon.
Cinnamon is definitely one of those components that more people are likely to have a skin sensitivity to, so don't put it anywhere. I have no idea if this is like the real, actual juice from the actual cinnamon fruit, but I would not put it somewhere sensitive where you have shaved recently or where your body secretes anything. Keep it away from the eyes. Just like just like a real, like I would say like it actually is like a jolt of like cinnamon stick. Which doesn't make this less gourmand in any way, but it certainly is just like super spicy, like the spiciest of the crew.
Yes.
And looking at what we have left, I would say that's likely to be the case.
It's making me hungry.
Really? Do you want to have some leftover pizza right now?
On camera.
Yes. While you're testing the perfumes, the next one. Okay, so I've smelled this, and this is my personal favorite from the batch: gingerbread and rose incense. Bewildering array of incredible rose scents in this year's Yule's. Didn't see it coming. Now, I love a foodie rose. Foodie rose. I could do a foodie rose all day. That's why I loved the sugar cookie peacock queen so much. And it's so funny because I've been having fits lately where I'm like, do I want to wear sugar cookie peacock queen or do I want to wear gingerbread rose incense? Two very distinct outcomes.
Total fits. Just like, whoa, calm down.
I could layer them, but that seems like it might make me too sexually powerful. I mean, I can smell the gingerbread, I can smell rose, and then like the incense, I don't know what it is. Is it like a
Sweet music.
someone? I think we're getting a caller.
Yes, go ahead.
I really don't know what the incense is. Like, if I had to guess, I would say something like myrrh. That's what I'm
I
guessing.
think it might be frankincense.
It might be Frank and Myrrh.
Frankenmyrrh.
They, are friends.
They're a power couple.
My
I actually do think it's frankincense.
partner and I saw you from the bar, and we liked your vibe. It's like the couple at the bar that's trying to get you to hook up with them.
Yes.
Well, rose and gingerbread are one way to accomplish that, let me tell you. It's like just gingerbready enough to have like the foodie attraction, and it's like it's definitely rosy, but it's not like a super floral. It's just kind of like it reminds me of gingerbread and leather in that it is a great swirl of things that just all like pair together so well, and you need all of it to work.
I just think it's heavenly, and I do think it's frankincense.
It definitely dries down, I think, into like mainly like a rose incense perfume.
Yeah.
But like, I ain't mad at it. This should take us into a lively direction. Have not smelled this. This is the Gingerbread Limoncello. Not affiliated with Danny DeVito in any way. Although, Danny, call us. We could hook it up.
Wait, what?
Danny DeVito has his own brand of limoncello, and it's actually really good. He sells limoncello.
I didn't know that.
Danny DeVito limoncello.
The sweet DeVite?
Yes. Not too sweet.
Oh! Wow.
Whoa! Okay. This gave me full body exhale. I was just like, okay. I'm more relaxed having smelled it, and that is not something that I can say about every perfume, for sure. I was dubious about these two scents pairing up together very well. It sounds like the kind of thing where it's like, like how do they, it's like jigsaw puzzles that don't fit. But I have to say that like the limoncello is like sugary enough to like kind of form a sweetness gradient with the gingerbread. It's like a lemon drop kind of smell.
Yeah, it's very refreshing.
Like a little cookie with like a little lemon head in it. And I have not done that, and I'm not sure that I would, but now I'm curious to. Overall, this is kind of like a bright citrus shine, but there's a kind of a warm spice to it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's really what you've got, like sugar and spice, and I don't have like a segue into like
everything
a lemon
nice.
joke.
Oh.
The Mysteries of Gingerbread Limoncello, which I think is now like a children's book series that I just invented. Okay, well, we are kind of sizzling right through these, but that's how it should be. First video of the year. I'm tired. You're tired. Viewer, you are tired. So we'll make this as easy and efficient as possible. Gingerbread Campfire. I know anything campfire related instantly amasses an audience. People love that smell. They want to smell like a campfire. Sometimes we can give you something that smells like a campfire, and sometimes we can't. Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Seems like this is one of the times when we can.
Definitely campfire.
Very smoky. In the bottle, it's overpowering the gingerbread, for sure.
Yes, it smells burnt in the bottle. The bottle smells burnt.
There's like a rich red scent in there that I want to say is like a red, like a red musk, or something. I don't know, something very red, fiery red.
Oh, it's very strong.
Like yeah, it's.
But I'm also like I just like really inhaled that, so it's my fault.
It smells like.
I need to know what it smells like on the skin.
Like you might be in a little bit of danger, you know.
I do feel that.
Or you have escaped some danger.
From your gothic mansion.
Yes.
Candelabra at night. It's so smoky.
It's
actually too much for me.
Yeah, especially after everywhere we've gone. I wish I could tease apart like what wood notes are in there, because I know there has to be some, and that's part of where like the dry, it's coming from some kind of wood.
Let it calm down.
I want to get to the gingerbread. I mean, I definitely am getting a little bit of spice coming through, but not much in a way that is like something that you would eat. Just like there's like a hint of spice like left over after like the tongue of the flame has like licked your whole face.
It's like...
It smells like burning.
It smells like burning. Crackling.
Yes.
Like...
So we've really done it this time, and if you're nervous about contending with the gingerbread note, I would say just don't be worried about that part. It's like the swampy one, where it's like the least gingerbready possible thing.
You dropped your cookie in the fire.
Yeah. And you're not getting it back. It's gone.
That was the last cookie. Something burning?
Yeah, it's like you want to maybe like you need to like clean your chimney a little because there's definitely something.
Santa!
Oh, gingerbread, vetiver, and black tea. It's funny because I would think that vetiver is like normally like pretty smoky, and after where we've been, I'm not sure we're going to be that easy to impress. So. Oh. Wow. Well, this does move us into somewhat foodier territory, but only just. Okay, so the black tea note that I really recently was enjoying October 32nd, which is a really strong black tea, and I noticed how from having people smell it when we were vending recently, how that was like so strong and overpowering to people and smelled cologne-y to a lot of people. It's fascinating here where the tea actually calms down the vetiver. There's like a bit of a smoky, grassy smell. There's like the bit of like the black tea is like kind of weirdly comforting because it pulls it into kind of like a domestic imagination scentscape, you know, where you're just like in a cozy cottage or whatever. The gingerbread is kind of like a wonderful, like a rich kind of like anchor point for these scents. It's kind of like more suggestively foody, but it does have like a witch's cottage smell. Absolutely. This is kind of like an interesting fairy tale scent, I think. Just going back for a little more.
Just depends on which fairy tale.
Right. It's like the presence of gingerbread lingering, but like there's, I don't know, there's something kind of like dark and dusty and spare about it that's like weirdly elegant. This is like the ghost of gingerbread past, or is it the ghost of gingerbread future? This is like a wonderfully. I mean, I know some of the foodier smells don't necessarily seem terribly adult because it's like candy and cookies and like carefree memories kind of thing, and I like that this is a weirdly kind of elegant, austere option for, you know, austere witches.
I like it a lot more on the skin. Admittedly, when I was smelling it in the bottle, I was like, I don't think I enjoy this.
You thought I was straight
But then
tripping.
the second that I smelled it on here, I was like, well, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
This is what I want my winter coat to smell like when I put it on. You know, and it's just like a nice kind of like cool, warm, enveloping, rich scent. I'm into it.
Yeah, I really like this. It turned my head.
I feel like if I could bear to watch myself on video, I'd be able to go back through this whole thing and watch my mood change from scent to scent, especially with this one for some reason. Maybe I'm just increasingly unstable.
Well, if you ever want to try editing one of these to watch your mood change, I welcome you to it. I've watched my mood change enough.
Everyone, please thank Galen for his service because he has been editing all these videos, and that means very often watching himself and editing himself, and that is a soul-annihilating activity.
It's a strange thing to have been doing a lot for the last 2 years. Like, I don't take selfies.
Right. Galen,
so that's why I'm like...
You're not a presence. You don't, like...
I just, like...
put yourself out there, and so to do this is
to
like...
spend this much time looking at myself, and it's
just
weird.
like totally standing over the pits of Mordor for you, you know, and it changes a person. Anyway,
what's your favorite?
Oh,
I think you already said, but like, you know, just as we wrap up, we should discuss the favorites.
Gingerbread and leather, gingerbread and rose incense. Even just from reading the words gingerbread and rose incense when the update was still in document form, I was like, cool. I know what I'm going to be doing for the next several months and periodically throughout the years. So, what about you?
Well, gingerbread and leather is already a friend of mine, but and I do like the gingerbread and rose incense, but I will be hanging out with gingerbread, vetiver, and black tea again.
Interesting. You were won over.
I think I have a new friend.
Wow. Well, by now some of you actually have these, and so I'm curious to see how our experience squares with yours, and you are welcome to share that in the comments, and we definitely read the comments, I regret to say, so we will be very curious to also the reviews at bpal.org, which we have been refreshing just to see like who's got what and what are they saying about it.
Always fun.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need validation in my scent, perception. Also, I need reminders that other people are operating with like entirely different brains. So
some people have like a different piece of the puzzle than you have.
Yeah.
And then like all it takes is like that one little like this reminds me of blah bitty blah, and you're like, that's it.
That's it.
Or you're like, oh, that's it, and never wearing it again.
I have had very
depends.
few perfumes ruined for me by other people's reviews.
Me too. Actually, it's never happened. But
that being said, if I'm wearing a perfume and someone says something negative about it, I remember it literally forever.
And you're like,
when I put it on, and I'm just like defiantly putting it on, even though they said that horrible thing that one time.
This is all for you.
Well, I guess it's time to end before I get too steamed. So we're going to be returning very soon. And we've got so much more Yule to smell. We got some spirits. We got some sugar plums. You name it, we got it.
Yeah.
So welcome to the first year of the rest of your life. And we will be filming again soon.